Do you like my hat? Why am I wearing this? What is this all about? Apparently, John wants me to learn how to weld and do mechanical stuff by myself. This could go horribly wrong. So this is going to be my first lesson in welding. I've never even seen welding happening, let alone held a welder or welded myself. But as you know, I've got a race car and it was very useful and handy to learn how to weld. And John said, do you know what, it would create quite good content for the viewers to watch my journey on how on earth to weld in the first place. So let's give it a go. It's going to go horribly wrong. I've got no idea what to expect. I'm a little bit jumpy and I know it's going to create some sort of noise or a massive spark or something. That's all I know about welding. But it's going to save me some money in the long run, so it can't be that bad. And then mechanical stuff as well. Be quite useful, you know, to help out with the cars where I can and the bike. So follow the journey and see how it goes. I'm not entirely sure what to expect. It could all end in tears. Let's find out, shall we? Wish me luck! So safety first, I'm wearing gloves, I've got my hair tied back and I've zipped my jacket up. So this is Reese's car. Reese is my fiance, for those who don't know. And this was his car last year, for last season, and it got absolutely wrecked. And so this is going to be the learning car, the donor car. I don't really know anything else except for I know that this is what I'm using. It's called a MIG welder. And apparently I've got to hold this. And I'm rather scared. Safety warning. This video contains bright flashes from welding. Viewers sensitive to intense light or flashing effects should take care when watching. It's mask down. I've got to put the thing on the shiny stuff and then pull the trigger. I'm genuinely terrified. Woo-hoo-hoo! Oh wow, it's green. Okay. So that wasn't that bad. It made me jump, but I couldn't feel anything. I could just hear a noise and see a green spark. Don't know if it was green because this is like, yeah, it probably wasn't green. Okay, so I've made a spot on there. Let's find out what the next step is. So the next step is to make a little line just to see if I've got the control. So mask down. Let's give it a go. Hang on, where's the shiny bit? There. Ooh, ooh, ooh. It all came out. What have we done wrong there? So that went wrong. Let's try again. I wasn't on the shiny stuff apparently. So I'm going to find the shiny stuff, then put my mask down and try and make a line. Let's go. It looks more like a slug. I made that. Wow, okay, that's cool. On to the next step, whatever that may be. So follow me on my crazy journey into the world of mechanicking. It could go horribly wrong, but it could save me a lot of money in the long run, and hopefully I'll gain some very useful skills. Stay tuned. To go and see a very exciting car, and indeed a very exciting owner. What do we have here? In November 1962, this car was the first Cobra to be registered in the UK. It was the first Cobra to be built with right-hand drive and the first Cobra to be registered as an AC Cobra as opposed to Shelby Cobra. It was retained by AC Cars for 12 months for further development and promotional duties before being sold to its first public owner in November 1963. What a special car.
Hello, I'm Russ Swift.
Hang on, what's this? Did he just say Russ Swift? The legendary stunt driver, Russ Swift? No, surely not. It can't be. Can it? It is!
This is my AC Cobra. It's a 1962, one of the first produced. It was the 31st produced and the first one that didn't go to Shelby in America. So it's the first one that's registered as an AC Cobra, first right-hand drive Cobra, and it was owned by AC for a full year while it was undergoing development for modifications that would be done to subsequent cars. Carroll Shelby had the idea of fitting an American V8 engine into a light British sports car, so he commissioned AC to produce 100 cars which were sent to America to have American engines and gearboxes fitted. But this car was the first one that didn't go to Shelby. They kept it back. By the time they produced 30 cars, mine's the 31st, they were breaking when they were racing, and there was lots of upgrades that needed to be done to make them cope with the power. So they kept this one back and used it for all the development for future cars. These are all pictures taken from books. It's well documented in the AC and Shelby Cobra books, and it was on the stand. I can't establish exactly which motor show. It was said to be at the Earl's Motor Show, but I doubt that. The pictures that I've seen at the motor show, it looks like somewhere on the continent, like Belgium or France. So I can't support that really.
So did the history come with the car? Did you know about the history?
Some of it, but I've discovered a lot more.
Done a lot of digging.
Yeah. The previous owner didn't really see any value in the car and wasn't interested in it.
So that is your actual car?
Yeah. It's as you say, the registration's 300k because that's when they still owned the car. But these are all the pictures you can see. It's got 300 pk in, but when in the brochure they've taken that's that same picture there.
That's fascinating.
Just taken, and the interior, that's in the brochure as well. That's my car, which we've got original pictures of a little bit further on. That's that picture there.
Oh wow! Do you know, I've got goosebumps.
The dashboard was totally wrong when I got it, and fortunately, with having the picture of my dashboard in the brochure, I had a really good template to recreate the original dash, and that's what we've done with the car. That they used for the driver's handbook to show where all the controls went.
So this is your actual car
Yeah,
with Sterling Moss?
Mm-hmm.
Back in 1963?
The pictures was taken in 62 or early 63, before the Le Mans race in 63.
Amazing.
But these are all extracts from books, so it's well documented. It's my car.
Oh wow! Right.
This is one I've just come across in the last couple of weeks. It was the Daily Telegraph story about it.
Such amazing history. And how do you feel when you come across all this history about the car that you think you know, like head to toe, and then you come across more history? How does that make you feel?
Oh, it's fantastic. I love the research, and although it was advertised when it was sold at auction as the first right-hand drive Cobra and the first rack and pinion Cobra, it wasn't really appreciated. It is actually the first AC Cobra, because as soon as they went to America, Shelby took anything to do with AC, apart from the foot pedals, and sold them and marketed them as a Shelby Cobra. It occurred to me that it must be the first AC Cobra, and it is. That was quite a revelation at the time, and very, very satisfying. But these pictures, like the pictures in the pit lane at Le Mans, that was from a motorsport magazine, and somebody had sent that in just as a reminiscence of his visit to Le Mans. But that tied in nicely with all the publicity shots when they were promoting the entry in Le Mans in 1963.
Did your car race in Le Mans?
No. It's pictured in the pit lane there, but there was the official team entries. This is the actual brochure.
Oh wow!
And these are all pictures of my car.
No way! That's the official AC Cobra brochure.
Yeah.
With your car.
Yeah.
That is incredible. Look at that. Let's just do this.
An interesting fact about that is the side vents, which you see just behind the rear wheel arches, were drawn in afterwards.
Oh, no way! Even in those days, they could Photoshop.
Yeah, it was the equivalent of Photoshop. I've got the original picture where it doesn't have the vents in, but the same picture is with and without the side vents. The vents were put in, by the time this brochure was released, they were putting side vents in, so they wanted to make it...
I was going to say, false advertising otherwise.
Yeah. These were pictures taken in the garden of the owners of AC cars, the Hurlock people, and this is a picture that was used in the brochure to advertise AC cars when they started selling them in the UK. The car was taken to Le Mans in 1963. This is a picture of Sterling Moss talking to Hurlocks. It's a publicity shot for the Daily Telegraph, who sponsored the AC team in 1963. And that car is it sat in the pit lane at Le Mans. Sterling Moss, Carroll Shelby and the Hurlocks and a chap called Phil Remington took them down just as road cars for the event.
And that's your car?
That's right. The car here, the registration number is actually 300 PK, but that AC retained that number when they sold it, and when it was first sold to the public, it was sold with the number that it's on now, which is 510 GBL. And there's some pictures here of when it was advertised for sale for £1,495 at the Gold Seal Motor Company, and this is actually a picture from the 1966 racing car show. It was the Gold Seal Motor Car Company who used the picture of my car to publicise their business in that programme. And this is it when I bought it. It was described as in a sorry state. There was lots wrong with it. It had been modified quite a bit over the years. But I was a well-respected member of the AC Owners Club, so they wanted me to have it and were keen to me to have it because they knew that I would do justice to the car and take it back to how it was in 1962, which is where its history lies, really. So I took it right back to bare metal. This was it being prepared. It was spent 7 weeks at the MG factory at Longbridge, where a friend of mine was the workshop manager, and he and a Polish gentleman who'd served his time on MiG fighter fuselages was an expert in aluminium, and he prepared the body, and there's no filler in the car whatsoever. It's all panel beaten aluminium, and then they painted it, and this is how you see it now, and that was 9 years ago now, and it stood the test of time. It's still fairly presentable now. It does get used a lot. We've done 62 car shows this year, not all of them with the Cobra, but it certainly gets used, and is a fantastic car to own.
So Russ, do you remember the very first time you laid your eyes on this car, and what went through your head?
Well, I actually bought it unseen.
Oh, really?
And I got the shock of my life when they opened the garage doors at this storage warehouse. And I said, is that it? It was described as being in a very sorry state, but it didn't matter because I bought it for the history of the car. And they are quite simple cars, and people build replicas of these quite easily. So I knew I could recreate the original car, even if it was in the state that I expected it to be. But I was very pleasantly surprised how good it was. And the basics were there for me to easily. It's the original chassis, the original framework. So everything else I could get back to how I wanted. But no, it was a shock to the system. A very pleasant shock, actually.
Well, that's nice. That'd be a nice, pleasant shock. So when you first got behind the wheel, what was the thing that surprised you the most?
I was very surprised how comfortable it was, how compliant it was. It wasn't hard. It wasn't harsh. It was fast, but the engine's very cammy. It's quite a high specification engine that has been. I've detuned it to make it more road pleasant. It would have been horrible to drive. Originally it had 4 downdraft twin choke carburetors on it, which would have been very, very fast if you're going to race it or sprint it or something like that. But for the road, it would have been horrible to drive. So it's now got one single carburetor, 4-choke carburetor. But I don't drive it hard. I just sort of tootle about in it, and it's very pleasant to drive. It was a revelation, really.
What's your favourite memory about this Cobra?
My favourite memory is probably clapping eyes on it for the first time, really, and justifying having it. Because I bought it fully expecting not to be able to buy it. I expected it, and everybody expected it to go way above what I was prepared to pay for it. And when they said I'd bought it, I was in the predicament of having to find the money.
Oh no!
So I did have I had ACs and a couple of other cars. I built up a nice collection of cars, but nothing as valuable as this. So a friend of mine stepped straight up and said, "Look, I'll lend you the money, and you
Oh, that's
sell your
lovely.
other things and pay me back when you can." And I didn't pay it back within about 6 months. I sold everything else
Oh, wow.
to get this.
Perfect. Oh, what an amazing story that is. The Cobra has a reputation for being raw and untamed. Being a precision driver, does it make it a little bit more easy to handle?
Yeah, probably, but I don't push it to its limits. I've had it on racetracks a couple of times, just in parades and tootled around in it. But I wouldn't drive it hard on the road. It is too fast. And if you wanted to use its performance to the maximum, it would be very twitchy. But I think I've got a good understanding of what a car will do and what it won't do. And if I can't say I've ever had a moment where it's caught me out, and it was dangerous. No, I'm fairly careful with not to get it into a difficult situation.
Now, somehow I find that hard to believe because knowing exactly what you do, this is your career. You say that you look after this car very well, you poodle around, you don't do anything silly with it. I know that's not true. Because my next
No.
question was going to be,
Right.
with it being such a special car,
Yeah.
do you treat it really delicately?
I do most of the time, but there was one occasion when I've been sponsored by Pirelli for 40 years, and my son is still sponsored by Pirelli, and annually we do the Pirelli Family Day at Burton-on-Trent, and my son took his Ford cars along to do a display, and they said, "Will you bring your Cobra along?" Because it was originally fitted with Pirelli Cinturato tyres, and you can still get them, and that's what when I restored the car, I wanted to get back onto the Pirelli Cinturato tyres. So they said, "Will you bring your Cobra down just to put it on show, so that you can show the heritage of Pirelli tyres?" Because they were the first radials, the Cinturatos. You can either have the Michelin X or the Pirelli Cinturato. Everything else was cross-ply before that. So they were quite a landmark in Pirelli's tyre production. Anyway, Paul was doing his display in his Focus, and he blew the turbo pipe off his car in the middle of a display, and everybody stood around there and said, "What we do?" So I just jumped in the Cobra,
Brilliant.
and then they trained the crowd for a couple of minutes while he put this pipe back on and continued with the display.
So that wasn't even planned?
No.
Oh gosh, I love that. That's brilliant. And
Yeah,
yeah, there's some amazing
I
footage
had
of
no
that.
intention of doing that whatsoever, and I've never done anything like it since.
And I love the footage you've got your arm out up there, like, yeah, you love it life. So it's not a delicate wallflower. It is very much used. And it's driven hard, but not on the road.
No, not on the road. No, and I'm a very keen advocate of road safety, and you see me doing these things, but I would never suggest that anybody tries anything like I do in the display on the public roads. A car is a dangerous thing, and it's a weapon, and there's a time and place for everything. And I relate what I do in cars on my displays to what the Red Arrows do on the sky. I mean, you wouldn't, a commercial pilot wouldn't do the sort of things they do.
No.
But it's a show, and hopefully people respect that and 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 drive safely on the road.
Has owning this Cobra taught you anything new about driving, or is there nothing else to learn?
Oh, you never stop learning about driving. Yeah, every day is a school day. I actually like a car that isn't that easy to drive. Modern cars don't interest me in the slightest.
Yeah.
And I don't drive if I can help it. If I'm going out with anybody else can drive rather than me. I'm quite happy to be a passenger. But I enjoy a car of this sort of age where you really got to put some input in to get the best out of it, and it's everything is much more difficult than on a modern car. But I like the challenge of that. That's where I got the satisfaction out of driving a car like this.
It's proper raw, real driving,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah, and the gearbox.
Yeah.
It's a double clutch, and just to make everything a little bit easier. I enjoy the extra challenge of a classic car.
You have demonstrated autodesk in this car, and most people, like the purists and the people who would never dream of doing anything like that, will throw their hands up in horror. Oh my gosh, you can't do this to this car, or indeed to any car. What do you say about that?
These cars were made to be driven, and uh, Although I enjoy tootling around the lanes in this, they were designed for more than that. They were built as a racing car. Carroll Shelby ordered 100 to comply with the regulations for racing. They had to have 100 production cars, and they were built for racing. And the first cars raced, and even now, cars that raced at Le Mans are still racing, or clones of them, which you are allowed to do with racing now. If you have the original car, you can race a replica of it. But here you see the Goodwood Festival of Speed, the Goodwood Revival. There's Cobras everywhere and being driven hard and crashed.
Oh dear.
But yeah, I wouldn't want to do it with this. These cars had a hard life. I've got pictures of this car when it was 3 or 4 years old, and already it had big arches and big wheels, and had been butchered about. And they were, because things developed very fast. This just looks like an AC Ace. It's very demure compared to the later Cobras, where they developed the big wheel arches and the big wheels. This looks feeble in comparison, but as development went on, they got more competitive at racing, and that's how they developed.
So, what are your future plans for this car?
My future plans are to hand it down. I have no intention of selling it whatsoever.
It will be in your family forevermore.
Yeah.
That's lovely. So there is one extra bonus question. Would you take me out in it?
Yes, I will.
Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Yeah. So, thank you so much for coming to talk to me today and show me your amazing car. I've had the most amazing time. My hair's ruined, but it was so worth it. I just can't thank you enough. Thank you. It's been
an absolute pleasure. Lovely to meet you.
You too. Thank you very much. Oh, lovely. Thank you.